Hi everyone, today's video will be on rituals and where to start. Now I think I should give a disclaimer that this is my approach and the approaches that I have taken in the past. What works for me might not work for everybody else. So I would encourage you to find your own way and create your own rituals, but I'm going to give some examples to get started. So when I first began practicing magic and performing rituals, I would often be playing in my band, and I would do something as simple as burning some incense over a pentagram, you know, meditating, getting myself in the mood, and you know, basically the ritual was to prepare me for the gig I was about to play. It was to get me in the right frame of mind and to make sure that nothing goes wrong. And I'd say that every time I practiced that ritual throughout the year, I had success. So it can be something to start with. I would start simple. I'd start small before moving on to bigger rituals and bigger invocations or evocations. Now, I'm here mainly to talk about rituals. I already have 2 videos on the previous topics as well of invocation and evocation. But I'd say it's good to start small, and sometimes even bigger rituals can require small tasks. I mean, an example was when I did a meditation to Belial. Basically, as an offering, all he asked of me was that I leave a cup of tea out for him overnight. That's something I felt was a rather strange request, but because of that, and that was a ritual I performed during the 2020. Well, what a year it had been. And it did help me. I found myself for the coming weeks being a lot calmer, a lot more controlled. So I should elaborate also that it's not just about spiritual. It's not just you don't have to believe in any outside force, any deities. Rituals can be purely psychological. In fact, if anything, they are ingrained into the human psyche. Now, also, I would say that for the more spiritual minded, having an active imagination would definitely help, or what some people refer to as opening the third eye. I believe this can be done through meditation if you wish to be more spiritually inclined in your practice. Definitely, or if not, if you really can't rationalize, you can find a way of fooling the mind into believing it. I believe Aleister Crowley did touch on this in a few of his works. So, when you do this, you'll begin to also notice that, the mundane life, things about the mundane are not so mundane. There are, as I mentioned in my video about propaganda, anything can be used for a magical result. But I think I should also, again, if you are working with deities for ritualistic purpose, I cannot stress this enough. Research the deities, and I would say plan your rituals around things in their lore. So for example, Lilith, if you're performing a ritual to Lilith, use apples or sexual fluids. For Morrigan, in the past, I've put out birdseed as an offering to Morrigan, and certain vegetables for offerings to Sept. So research it and find something within the lore of whichever deity you are using. But you don't even necessarily have to have, summon a deity for the ritual. I mean, you can use the name of a deity for the, because the ritual involves aspects of what said deity represents. Now, I think I should also say that for beginners, do not use blood. Blood is part of your life force, and it's binding. You can be bound to a ritual, and it can also cause backfire if things go wrong. I'm planning for my next video talk about ritual backfire and how to avoid it. So, again, I would say start out small and make the practice bigger as you move along. I'll see you in the next video.